He wanted to look like Led Zeppelin 4.
Start with the dumb shit first.
His name is Russ. He bought that mic, and now he's got a podcast show.
So there's an ad in there, a quarter-page ad for George Washington University, which is, pretty heavy-duty private university in downtown DC. And they have all sorts of like certificate programs in the evening, and one was a paralegal certificate. So I said, well, that sounds like something, because I was thinking about law school, and I'm like, and this kind of goes back to the subject that we're really supposed to be talking about, career stuff, is I didn't really want to go to law school. I didn't want to work that hard and get myself that deep in debt to get a job that I wasn't crazy about to pay off my law school debt. So I said, paralegal, that sounds good. So I mentioned it to my parents, and they're like, you do it, we'll pay for it, no problem. So it was like not quite as many classes as a master's degree. I think it was like 21 credit hours, and you could do it all at night. So I did it at night, and cost over, and I took a class one semester and took a semester off, and took one semester. I didn't want to do it in the summer, and it took 2.5 or 3 years, and I did it. But in the meantime, I got the paralegal job. Was that I had a friend who owned a research company in downtown DC, and he actually hired me. I always say, because he knew he could trust me and he knew he could train me. So
what's the research company do?
Business, exactly what I'm doing now, which is sort of business background checks and incorporations.
What's a business background check?
Well, let's say one business is getting ready to do business with another. They want to check them out and find out if they have something called a UCC financing statement, which is on my list of things to talk about. It's basically a little mortgage. It's something that when there's a loan being made that's a little more heavy duty than a credit card loan, but not as big as a mortgage. They might be there for something like a company's just doing business and they need to buy some servers and have some servers, or need to have a photocopier. Like, you don't think about it, but a really nice photocopier is $15,000.
Right.
So that piece of machinery needs to be secured and attached to the business. So just because you have one, it's not bad that you have a loan. It just means that you're doing business. But it also means that, say, should you go out of business, that there's a recording in public records that says this photocopier is really under lease to Konica Minolta.
So I'm a little bit confused. Is this a law firm, or is this something different?
It's a service company. It's a service company that helps law firms.
Okay.
And other service companies, because if somebody in Seattle needs something specifically out of DC, they might call me. And if I need something out of Seattle, I call them. So our business is probably more service company than law firm.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So
But a law firm will send me an order and say, search these names in DC, Virginia, Maryland, California. And that's what I'll do. And I'll look and see if they have any of these UCC financing statements, if they have any federal tax liens or judgments, and if they have any suits, if they're being sued or being sued all the time. Or if they have federal tax liens, as I'm sure you know from your business, the tax man always comes first.
Yes.
If somebody is owed money.
Yeah.
There's a whole hierarchy of who gets paid first. And that's also why we put UCC financing statements in land records, is it puts you up higher in the food chain of being paid.
Yeah. So this is fascinating to me because it's pretty different from, excuse me, any service that I've heard of. Is there a CPA involved to look at
what I do?
Starter? What's up?
Not in what I do. I'm a glorified title searcher.
Okay.
Because I know you know what that is.
Okay.
Well, you can probably do the basics of it yourself.
I know what a title searcher is from real estate.
Yeah.
On every single deal, you do we typically do a limited lien search, and if that's clean, then you go to the 40-year chain of title in real estate. So I'm sure you have similar procedures where you start with the dumb shit first. Like, are there tax liens? You said it. I mean, that seems pretty parallel to what we do. Is you start with all the, like in Sling Blade, it ain't got gas in it. It ain't gonna start. So start with the dumb shit first. I love it, or the simple things. So explain the UCC to me again, because I don't quite understand that.
Okay, it stands for Universal Commercial Code, which you probably know.
Okay.
And it's as I always say it, because people ask me about it all the time, I say it's like a little mortgage.
A little mortgage. Okay.
Yeah. but it's important enough that it's recorded in the land records with the mortgages.
Interesting. So it would be easy to miss if you didn't have a professional research firm.
Yeah.
Like you digging into all that stuff.
Well, people use, you know, varying things as collateral for loans.
Right.
So they want to, or if they're, you know, trying to get a loan, they say, well, we have this cash and we have this and we have this, you know, these assets. You know, you can look for a lien on a car or a truck, but you can't for what we call general documents, cash, royalties, just any kind of incoming
So
things.
are those recorded? Can you find them?
Yeah.
In the records? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Another example for all of that is what we call a fixture filing. It's a UCC filing that's specifically associated with a piece of property and attached to the property. And the example I like to give is, you know, we've got a buddy who has a Tesla car and he's got the whole Tesla system with the solar panels and like a generator.
Yeah.
Or a battery. So let's say he's selling his house and they're all going, sweet house. He's got the pool. He's got the hot tub. He's got this and that. And he's got this whole Tesla system. Should you want to, you know, you can charge your electric car. Well, it turns out he's probably leasing that whole thing from Tesla and paying a couple $100 a month rather than just buying it.
Right.
So in the real estate transaction, they need to know, well, that whole solar system doesn't come with a house, or it can, but you need to know about it and maybe assume the lease or make sure it's paid off in the whole transaction, in the closing process. Because you don't want to buy a house and then all of a sudden you're getting a letter from Tesla saying nobody making their payments or we're going to foreclose on this.
Right.
It should go to the previous owner, but you don't want that kind of thing on your house.
We run into that all the time with just basic solar panels. Is on the roof. Are they paid off, or do you have 29 more years of payments before you own them? And what am I inheriting when I buy those? Well, our friends John Fischel was 50 or 51 with the first kids, with the twins.
Twins.
What's that?
Twins.
Yeah, twins. And then Mark Brown, rest in peace, man. We lost a friend there. He was the same. He was 50 or 49.
Yeah.
And twins.
Twins.
So you got a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
I'm petting her now. I mean, I don't know what it looks like I'm doing here.
So we did attend college together, so we need some funny college stories. What comes to mind?
We rehearsed at so many crazy places. In particular, the attic of the local motorcycle dealership.
That's right. That's right.
It was like the most metal thing ever. Like if we were Judas Priest wearing leather outfits and motorcycles everywhere. And there was a real old one up in the attic, like an old Triumph or an old BMW. I love the old ones.
Yeah.
Because it was a new Honda dealership.
Right.
Shank Honda.
We lived right behind it. And David worked there.
Yeah.
And David's brother ended up buying that dealership not long after and owned it for many years. And he moved it out to the Motor Mile and made it huge. But where we were rehearsing was a dirty little dank, dusty motorcycle shop. It was so cool.
Not the cold place.
And it was cold. It was 3 stories.
There was one place that was right near Cloverleaf, which was nice.
Yeah.
And then there was another place that was kind of near the apartment that you shared with him.
Yeah,
that was really cold.
Yeah, that was Shank Honda, the one that, well, he had 2, but the one I'm thinking of, it was like motorcycles on the first floor, parts on the second floor, and just weird open space at the top.
Yeah.
As you said, with like a Triumph on display.
Yeah.
And that is funny. I remember you always loved playing in that spot.
That's
even
where
though it was very
Michelle
cool.
did the guitar swing and busted the guitar.
Oh, and broke the neck off his Peavey guitar. Mm-hmm. Yep, we were cool.
I used to break a lot of drumsticks there.
Yeah.
Because we played really loud.
You could play as loud as you want
in
that space after hours. So that was a fun story.
Well, I realized...
I think it came up with John. Were you at the party the night Mike Clayton stripped to his boxers and put a keg of beer on his back and ran through the snow?
Because he wanted to look like Led Zeppelin 4.
Because he wanted to look like what?
The cover of Led Zeppelin 4, where the guy's got the bag of sticks on his back and like a
oh my God. See, that's why I ask you this. Because
to add these bits.
I didn't remember that detail. That's why he did this idiotic thing. I just
wanted to
walked
say-
down on it and went, "What the hell is happening right now?"
One more thing about the rehearsal place. I used to break drumsticks, and I broke drumsticks because I had a really cheap snare drum.
Hmm.
And I would hit it hard, and not very much sound was coming out of it. So a couple of years later, I got like a really nice deep dish Ludwig snare drum. And when I got a better snare drum, you don't have to hit it as hard. A lot of sound comes out of it.
Right,
And
right.
I pretty much don't break drumsticks anymore. I whittle them down to little chopsticks and all that, turn them into sandpaper and little bits of wood, and but that'll break them.
Yeah,
I haven't
meticulous.
broken a pair of sticks in 10 or 20 years.